we're going to take a quick look at the Pulse G clone from fasttech. This is a 22 mil Jenny. I believe it holds 3 mils of juice. Uh, it was really cheap. I think like $12, $13. I have it right now on the JM22 clone. Doesn't look too bad. Uh, the top cap fits very snug. It does have dual air holes, and I believe they're both 1.2 mil if I'm not mistaken. And like I said, top cat's very snug. With juice on, it is a little easier to take off, but normally, hopefully you can see that big gap under that O-ring there. It comes with another O-ring there, but I found with that O-ring on it, I couldn't get the cap to go all the way down. Especially with juice, once I put the cap down and it would touch the glass, as soon as I let go, it would start sliding back up. So I just removed that O-ring, and it does not do that at all anymore. And this one O-ring provides more than enough resistance to keep that cap on and not have it wobble around or anything. It does have a little chamber reducer, which does a wonderful job. This Since I got the Cave one, I don't tend to really vape Genesis Addies anymore. But this, just to try it out, I threw some, I believe it was some steam juice vanilla custard in here, and it was, I get the best flavor, the best taste I've ever had from that juice out of this tank. It makes it taste exactly like some good old vanilla pudding. It's great, and I believe it's all because of that chamber reducer right there. I've tried it in other Jennies after this, and it's not as good. I find myself just either going back to this or the Cape one. Now, build quality on this isn't bad, but it's also one of those that it looks the part but really isn't the part. But I guess that's true for most clones. By no means does it feel like it's gonna break on you or like it's cheap. The glass tank's actually a fairly good glass tank, especially compared to those Bliss and Steam Turbine clones. Those little glass tanks chip every time you try to take them off. Whereas this one, it is snug right now. I don't think I could, yeah, I'm not gonna mess with it and try to get it to move right now. It's on pretty snug. But this one, I can always get on and off. Sometimes it is work, and I will have to work like a thumbnail under the bottom here to kind of slowly get it up. I do remove, even when I had two, and still with just the one O-ring up here, I do remove the O-rings when taking off the tank. It seems to make it much easier. The chamber is easily removable by these two posts, and it has the fill hole open there. I hate to do this, but I will take this apart for you just to show the setup for the dual coils. And I can't remember the size of the wick hole. I do believe it's somewhere around 2.5 mm, if I'm not 100%, but that's what I believe it is. I believe they're both like that. I no longer have the parts bag, or I do somewhere. I just don't know where it is. I can't exactly remember what it came with, but I do know that it does not come with the extra screws, the short ones, to put in place of these when you remove this. And I'll show you what it looks like when you remove the chamber reducer for dual coil, because that is the only way you're gonna run dual coil in this. And those screws are fairly long, and you could use those screws if you want in the dual coil part, but you're gonna have a good deal of those screws in your juice, and you probably can't see that. I don't know. I just don't really want these screws all super deep in my juice, and they're kind of funky looking even after I cleaned them really well. And excuse the hands, folks. I mean, I got injuries and all kinds of stuff. I work with sheet metal all day long, and my hands get pretty jacked up. Now that just comes off, and maybe you can see that I've seen people on fasttech complaining about issues with this. There's actually two insulators under that positive post. One's almost like just a little flat rubber disc, and the other one goes down in it. You want to stick, there's a little lip on this reducer at the bottom. Hopefully you can see that. But there's a little lip down there. You want that lip to go between those two rubber pieces. You don't want it on top, and you don't want it underneath there. You want to get it between there, and you will not have to worry about any shorting issues. And there's your second hole. And I got some old funky juice, some old funky juice going on there. But there's the tank. There's all your holes. It performs really well. I've not had a single issue with it. Not one. Oh, I should put out. It does have what seems to be getting standard now, the China copper contact, which is some sort of fake stuff over brass, I believe. I mean, I haven't had any issue with performance. I think I have this set up 0.9 ohm, and most of my good mods are getting 4.08, anywhere from 4.08 volts to 4.5, maybe a little lower, 4.3 under the load with a fully charged battery. So, and that's not bad at all in my opinion. So I don't think there's a lot of loss going on with this connection here. This is all the way screwed in, and it does stick out a little bit. So you're probably not going to get a flush mount unless your device has an adjustable center pin, which most do nowadays. So that shouldn't be an issue to anybody. I have not yet had a chance to try the cracking clone, so I don't know how this compares to that. But I can say, out of all the Jennies I've tried, including some higher end one, the flavor out of this, I guess probably just because of this piece, is absolutely fantastic. I have not tried it in a dual coil setup because of the long screws, and to be honest, after trying it in its stock setup, I really haven't wanted to. It's for a Jenny, it vapes perfectly for me. The draw could probably be loosened up a little bit because I only have one hole, but I don't want to alter this in case at some point I do want to run dual coil in it. And I'm not one of the vapors that want a completely wide open draw. I don't mind a loose draw, but I don't want completely wide open regardless of how much vapor I'm looking for. That's pretty much it with this one, folks. This is actually a good buy, and for the price, especially considering it's in the same price range as those Bliss clones and Steam Turbine clones, this is far superior in my opinion. Everything about it. And the biggest win is that glass over those. I can't even get those off, and the one time I did get it off, I broke, with my fingernail at that, I broke little chunks all off the bottom of those two. But this is a nice little solid piece of glass. It's not super thick, but it's thick enough to withstand some drops and stuff, which I have done to it. Well, like I said, that's it, folks. Thanks for watching.